Season 2 at Stuttgart is in the books, so in today's episode we are doing a small season review followed by the transition to season nummer 3. We will have a lot of players leaving and coming in because I have designed a brand new tactic. Who is up for some preseason madness? Hey guys, my name is Jochen aka Leyodemus and welcome to part 18 of Stuttgart über alles. In this FM21 series I try to transform VFB Stuttgart in Germany from a newly promoted Bundesliga club into a European giant. If you are enjoying the series so far, you know the drill. Feel free to show me some support by liking the videos and by subscribing to my channel. Whack on that notification button so you won't miss a single video that gets dropped. Let's have a look at our end of season review, shall we? The new arrivals. Is it loading? Yep, here we go. Let's see, it was a busy season in the transfer market and it's safe to say there was some good business done in bringing in some key new signings. First name that comes to mind, of course, Tonali, and this is kind of a bug because it all says my B squad basically. I didn't get Tonali from my B squad, I bought him from Brescia, so not sure what this is about. My board reaction to the transfers is a solid B. I don't know why Burak Ince is highlighted here. Okay, let's go to the season results. An A freaking plus. Awesome. We finished in 5th position, of course, in the league, so we qualify for the Euro Cup. The board expectation was to avoid relegation. Bam. We had an average home attendance of 87%, meaning almost 53,000 peeps, which is awesome. In the Euro Cup too, of course, we were knocked out by Lazio in the quarterfinal. And I think in the Pokal, we all know what happened there. Last episode, we lost the final against Bayern Munich. Why we are only getting a B- for that is beyond me. But hey, who am I? And even a C for reaching the quarterfinal in the Euro Cup too. Well, it was the board expectation. Was that the board expectation though? I thought they said be competitive. Season is over, nothing more I can do now. Let's go to moments to remember. Biggest win in that Euro Cup 2, 8-1 against Gazmatan Medias. Match to remember, a 4-1 awesome victory against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And goal of the season was Jack Wilshere. Let's have a look at that. This one. Here we go. Gonzalez with the ball. Is this the volley? I think it is. Sosa with the cross. Yep, bam. There he goes. Awesome goal by Mr. Jack Wilshere. Probably the last time you saw him in a Stuttgart shirt, because he will be leaving the club in a few days. I have to start over again. Yep, here we go. Moments to remember. The finances. Sponsorship. Well, everything is probably just a notch up from last season since we did better. Competition prize money. 74 million instead of 60 million. Alrighty. Top shirt sales. Arezzo, Gonzalez, Tonali, Kovalenko, Salvio. Is that because he has Michael Jordan's number? I am not sure because he didn't really play that much, to be honest. How we lined up, I guess this is pretty obvious. No need to go over this really. Best 11. You all know him by now. Look at this tactic. Keep it in mind because the tactic I am about to show you is nothing like this. Let's go to the accolades, aka the awards. Manager awards, of course, because I'm the only manager at the club. Player awards, fans player of the season, Nicolas Gonzalez, young player of the season. Signing of the season, not Tonali, but Ruben Blanco. That is odd, but okay. He is a good goalkeeper, though. I get it, but still. Top goal scorer, Nicolas Gonzalez with 23. Most assists, Sandro Tonali with 12. A new Bundesliga record for Gonzalez with 7 Player of Match awards and a highest average rating which isn't that high to be honest, but I'll take it, of 7.3. Record breakers, like I said, player of match 8 even, probably with all the competitions combined, and the highest transfer ever, Sandro Tonali for 12.5 million. I am pretty sure that this record is going down within 2 months' time. Let's have a look at our analyst report, shall we? General performance. Too many of the squad lack the necessary aggression to compete. That's an interesting one. Like literally the attribute aggression, I guess. Let's have a look at, doesn't really matter who. Let's have a look at Henrichs, aggression 11. I guess this is a very important stat in our center of defense. So let's go to, for example, Amadosic, who is our best defender. Wow, an aggression of 8. This attribute does not necessarily reflect the player's dirtiness, but their willingness to get stuck in. So I guess especially like in defensive-minded players, this is quite important. Although it's not highlighted if I choose because he's in a cover duty maybe. Yep, there we go. So for example, a ball-playing defender also probably, yep, if you put him on defense duty, aggression is highlighted and is a pretty important stat or attribute. So we might have to look into that. What else are we not good at, dear Mr. Analyst? This group isn't especially blessed, love the phrasing, with regard to crossing. Okay. The squad tend to lack good corner taking. I think we only have Tonali, who has like a 14 or 15 on his corners attribute. So might also look into that in the off-season. Scoring. Effective from through balls, blah, blah, blah. The one thing that stands out for me is our attacking efficiency. We are by far the most clinical team, or were the most clinical team in the Bundesliga last season. Although we are in the passive segment here, which I'll take. But ideally, of course, you want to be here somewhere. That means you have a lot of shots per game, so you are playing quite dominant football. And you are scoring a lot of goals out of those shots. So this is, to be honest, what I am aiming for next season. I want to be here, but above this line. Let's keep that in mind when we do next season's summer break episode. And we have some new club vision requirements. Awesome. They want us to play high-tempo pressing football. This was my cue to start designing a new tactic, which we will have a look at in a minute. Then work within wage budget, and I am all for that. And then the end of next season, we're no longer, the board does no longer expect us to be in a relegation battle. They want us to finish mid-table. I am totally fine with that, dear board. Another requirement is reach the first knockout round in the Euro Cup, which I guess is also very much doable, depending, of course, on our opponent, but hey. And then for the 5-year plan, work towards qualifying for the Euro Cup, which we already nailed last season. So I guess they just want us to keep doing that, and I am pretty okay with all that. Let's go to our end of season team meeting. Remember, this was quite the disaster last season. So I am really curious to see how this will turn out. Discuss plans for next season. Bam. Alrighty. Let's have a look. What are our options here? The season has finished and it's time to focus, blah, blah, blah. I think we can finish in the top half. And I need you to come back for preseason with the same level of ambition. That is more than an option here. We also could say going into next season, I think we'll be in a good position to avoid a relegation battle, but that is way too unambitious in my opinion. Good position to avoid relegation. Let's just go for finish in the top half. I mean, we finished 5th for crying out loud. So convinced. Wow, here we go again. Here we go again. Mr. Sandro Tonali himself. I think finishing in the top half is a bit out of our reach. Are you kidding me? Should I give in? I mean, I don't want to insult them again like I did last year. Perhaps I might be asking too much, but I do maintain that we can avoid being sucked into a relegation battle. Emboldened. Can someone let me know down in the comment section? What the hell does emboldened mean? I've never heard that word. Henriks has nothing to add, which is awesome. Let's say that's the sort of overall reaction I was hoping for, although I respect those of you who don't agree with me. I will also be aiming to reach the latter stages of the Euro Cup next season. Let's go for the knockout stages. I think we can do that. Well, thank you, Sandro. That's exactly the sort of reaction. Was that it? Okay, summary. That was it. That went better than last year, but still. Alrighty, this is my new tactic called 4-3-2-1 Go Nuts, because that is exactly what I expect us to do while using this positive, control possession based, high intensity tactic. I'm still doing some tweaking, so I'm not going to go into too much detail yet, but bear with me. At the back, we are using a position and a role and a duty that I have never used before, I swear to God, the inverted wingback on both sides of the pitch. That in combination with one ball-playing defender in cover, there we go, and one central defender in defensive role, a deep-lying playmaker in a supporting role in front of them, and then another position slash role slash duty that I have never used, 2 defensive wingers. What? I know. More on the details later, but trust me, I have seen other creators use a quite similar tactic, and if you think about it logically when I explain the details to you in a minute, it all makes sense, trust me. But I am leaving a huge gap here in the middle of the field. Spoiler, that is where the 2 inverted wingbacks come in. And up front, we have 2 shadow strikers and attacking support of an advanced forward. I've created this tactic, as I mentioned, because the board wants us to play high tempo pressing football. Simple. And simply because I wanted to go all in. I mean, come on, 2 positions, the defensive winger and the inverted wingback that I've never used before, so things can go horribly south. But I think we should be okay, because I have pretty much a decent player for all these positions. The only thing I'm still missing, and that is my main focus for the transfer window, is a right winger. That can also play, of course, as a defensive winger. That's the whole point of this, right? Shadow strikers, I have plenty, as I do forwards. Nicolas Gonzalez can play as a defensive winger on the left wing, so that is not a problem. Borna Sosa can also play there, but he will probably be our starting left wing back, of course. In defense, I'm not saying we have bad players at this moment, but I am looking for players with higher aggression, because I really think that is causing us to concede more goals than we should, because our aggression and all our defensive players is so freaking low. That is my second focus in the transfer window, central defenders. And then possibly I have a third focus coming up also because of this. We have a couple of players who are currently dissatisfied at club level. First of all, Nicolas Gonzalez. He is wanted by some Premier League clubs and Leipzig. And maybe even worse, he is starting to get concerned because he is starting to consider whether he should be looking to move to a bigger club. I mean, come on, Nicolas, you were the top goal scorer, joined top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. I get that. But I mean, we are going places, man, with this club. Then we have Oral Mongala, my fellow Belgian. He also says he's probably looking to move to a bigger club. Okay. I'm not really dreaded about that because, of course, I have Tonali and Eustaquio in the deep-lying playmaker role, so I could do without Mongala, to be honest, but we'll see. Next in line, Silas Wamangituka. Same story, moved to a bigger club. And to be honest, Silas, I mean, I don't want to diss you, but you are not that good, my man. I mean, he can play on a decent level on the right wing, as he can, of course, as a striker. But to say he is really of that level to be saying this to us, nah. Next up, we have Anel Amadozic. He's starting to feel he deserves a new contract. That is a totally different story, and I kind of get that, and I agree. So we might look into giving this good man a new contract. Who else have we got here? Arezzo, same story, new contract, without any doubt. I am going to give this man a new contract. I can assure you that. I think Renier is maybe also one worth noticing. Also new contract. Not too shabby if you ask me. I will absolutely do that. And that's about it. So what I really wanted to say is we have also Borna Sosa, who is wanted by Leicester, Atalanta, Napoli and Sassuolo. I am pretty sure if one of these teams for Gonzalez or Borna Sosa comes in with an offer and we reject it, they are going to get mad. So basically our left wing, because they are the two most suitable players to play on those positions on the left wing, they are both wanted and they will both get mad if I reject the offers coming in. So a possible third focus for the transfer window will be to find some new players for that left wing. Now with every new season come new budgets to be spent. We have been given a transfer budget of almost £39 million and a wage budget of £3.85 million a month, of which we are spending £3 million right now. Now I have not signed any big names yet, but I think in the end we will be able to slide this little thing to just about here. I think this should really be enough as a wage budget, 3.4 million a month. And that leaves us with a transfer budget of more than 43 million guacamoles. Watch me sign a right winger, at least one central defender, preferably two with high aggression, and possibly my third focus, like I mentioned, on the left wing, if Gonzalez and or Sousa will be lured away by big boy clubs. Of course, that will bring some extra budget in. Who knows what the transfer activity will be. Let's do this. Now, before I forget, I really want to show you this because this is pure insanity. We have beaten Monaco twice in our Euro Cup 2 group stage last season, but they went on to win the whole freaking thing. They have beaten Lazio, who have kicked us out in the quarterfinal, on penalties in the final, 1-1. Pretty undeserved if you ask me, but hey, that is football, right? But yeah, Monaco have won the Euro Cup 2 and we have beaten them twice. Do the math. If we go one level up from there, we of course come into the Euro Cup competition, the Europa League if you will, where we are entering ourselves this season. Valencia have beaten Napoli in the final, 2-1. And then of course the Champions League has been won by Liverpool, 2-0 in the final against Chelsea. And so we have reached one of the most fun parts in every summer break episode, the transfer summary. And it is August 1st, so our preseason is pretty much done. The transfer window isn't, of course, but nonetheless I have signed 10 players already for a grand total of £41.5 million. Of course, there are also a couple of players that have left the club by now. Maybe only one is really worth mentioning, Aurel Mongala, my fellow Belgian. We have sold him to Everton for a possible future fee of 10 million. Apart from him, we also sold Iter and Kalajic, and a lot of guys, of course, are out on loan. As far as incoming transfers go, we have basically two groups of players. We have three guys, which I'm blurring out right now. They will be at least regular starters, possibly star players even. We'll get to them in a minute. And then we have 7 guys that I basically just signed for the future. Let's start with them, but let's just highlight 2 instead of going over all of them. First on the list, Mr. Samuel Jakub Olsen comes in from Copenhagen in Denmark for a possible fee of 3 million. And say hello to the youngest ever international for the Faroe Islands. I hope you pronounce that Faroe, but I'm not sure. 16 years old, 2 caps already. He is an inside forward on the right side of the pitch. 2-star current ability, 5-star possible potential ability. Fairly ambitious guy, awesome. Left-footed, of course. Acceleration, agility, and pace, and dribbling, and flair. I mean, this screams inside forward, doesn't it? Really expecting a lot from this guy. A 13 determination, which is good. Work rate could be a little bit higher, but we'll work on that. I didn't have real talent as far as the 2 wing positions go, so that was my main focus while signing young players this transfer window. Safe to say I succeeded. And then second youngster I really want you to see, and this is literally insane. If I'm brutally honest, this could prove to be, in the end, one of the signings of the save. I'm not even kidding. Coming in for a possible £1.5 million from Sampdoria in Italy, Giacomo D'Amico. Loving the name, first of all. But look at this man. He is 16 years old. 2-star current ability, possible 5-star potential ability once again. He is a professional personality because his determination is out of this league. Enthusiastic striker, also good. And look at this mental attributes, man. It is, I don't want to over exaggerate, but I think mentally speaking, like if I just focus on the mental attributes, I have rarely seen this in a 16-year-old in all of my Football Manager careers. Also, first touch 15, passing 15, technique 15, work rate 16. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I think he is already valued at almost £1 million. As soon as this guy turns 17, man, I am going to start to loan him out to decent clubs with decent youth facilities. And I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we could have a possible superstar right here. And then the 3 guys you have probably all been waiting for. First on the list, coming in from Fiorentina for 9.75 million, Mr. German Petzela. Argentinian international, 31 years old. I know what you're thinking, but bear with me. 3.5-star current and potential ability. Aggression 15, and that is important because I told you I wanted to have at least one new central defender with a high aggression. Check. Jumping reach and heading is also, although he's not the tallest, but jumping reach and heading are right up there, as is marking, positioning, and basically all his mentals. He is a resolute personality, high determination, awesome for mentoring. He is an elite center back. It pretty much says it all. I think this is going to be one of my 2 main starting central defenders. I also just wanted a somewhat older guy in defense because I think Anton was the oldest or is the oldest with 26, 27, not really sure. But I really wanted someone like a captain in defense, and I think I have found that in this guy. Second on the list, coming in from Dynamo Kiev for 11.5 million, Mr. Denis Popov, a 23-year-old Ukrainian international. 3-star current ability, a 4.5-star potential ability. I didn't really know him, to be honest, but he popped out on my scouting reports and he was transfer listed. So, what do you know? He's already valued now at 16 million. He's 6'1" and he can pretty much play in every role as a central defender position. Now, jumping reach and heading, very good. Also good determination. And what do you know? Aggression 16. So I basically doubled the aggression in the center of our defense. Check. And then we have what I consider to be the star signing of the summer. One Belgian left, our only Belgian left, Oral Mongala. I mean, I couldn't stay behind and bring another one in. I mean, come on. Alexis Salamakers is joining us, or has joined us already, from AC Milan for 15 million and a possible 24.5 million guacamoles. He was the first name to pop up in my mind when I decided to start with defensive wingers, because he is a fully natural right winger and defensive winger is his most suitable role. So I mean, I knew that from my beta save with Belgium, and I am very glad that this guy has joined us by now. 23 years old, of course he's capped already for Belgium. 4-star current ability and potential ability, has one con, and that is that he's not the best in the air. But hey, very high stamina, very good acceleration, crossing is on point, teamwork, work rate, determination 18. I mean, once again, if I could pick one guy to play at that right defensive winger position, it would have been him. So, me happy. So as you can tell, Nicolas Gonzalez and Borna Sosa are still at the club. There have been some offers that came in, but I have been able to reject them without them complaining so far. So that is good. I'm not going to try and sell them myself because like they're saying, I want to move to a bigger club. Well, no, the bigger clubs have to come to me. That is how I roll. We still have some money. We have 11 million transfer budget left. We still have a lot of room in our wage budget. If one of those players gets sold, and I am thinking that it could be Nicolas Gonzalez because he is still wanted by, let's see, where is he? There he is. By Wolfsburg. And I know if they get a high enough offer in, he will be pissed if I keep rejecting it. Borna Sosa at this point is wanted by more clubs than a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we'll see. If one of them gets sold, we have a more than decent budget to buy another player for the left side of the pitch, but so far I am super happy with my transfers. Now, even with those new transfers, the media still thinks we will barely make it into the top 10. I mean, come on. They predict us to finish in 9th position. I guarantee you, and it's on camera, that we will finish higher than that. I am aiming, to be honest, for a top 4 spot this season because I really want to start qualifying for the Champions League. I think with this team and hopefully this new tactic, we can do just that. Because of course we have played some friendlies by now. We did awesome, only one slip up, and that was the first real test with that new tactic was in PSV in Holland. We have lost 1-0, but if we look at the match stats, and this is more important to me than the end result, we were the dominant team. We had almost a 60-40 possession. Our XG score is higher, we had more shots and whatnot, so we were in fact the better team, and they have a pretty decent squad. So I was happy with that result, if you know what I mean. Then we also went to Nice and we won 3-1, and look at these match stats. I mean, we should have slaughtered them, to be honest. We had 60-40 possession. Once again, our XG is through the roof, as are our shots and our shots on target. Once again, really happy with this game, and we have also already played our first official game of the 3rd season. We have beaten Osnabrück, who are a Bundesliga 2 team, in the first round of the cup, and pretty much the same story as against Nice. We were very much the better team, but only won 1-0. So far so good, I would say. For the next episode, I think I will come back for our first on-camera game of Season 3 against Dortmund. I mean, why the hell not? And that also gives me some extra time, 2 games, to tweak my tactic so I can show it to you in a little bit more detail, because I think it'll be worth it. Stay tuned. So guys, that was it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments section about my tactic and the transfers that I brought in. If you like my videos, please leave me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Whack on that notification button so we can keep doing this Stuttgart adventure together. I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you pretty soon.